Hello students, and welcome to the CompTIA Tech Plus exam course brought to you by Third Level Technology. I'm your instructor, Jim Herbie. In this episode, we're going to continue in Module 5 in the exam objectives and discuss the final section in the module 5.4, Data Backups. Let's begin. We will start our discussion by looking at the different features of file and system backups. A file backup is one that will save individual specific files or folders, rather than the entire system. We use file backups for our critical and our sensitive data. We can create individual file backups for documents, media, and confidential project files. We can then control the access to our file backups by creating permission levels and individual users that have the proper access. File backups should have a regular scheduled frequency. We want to ensure that all of our file backups are preserved and updated with the most recent user modifications. Your most common format for your individual file backups are zip archives and in data restoration incremental backup sets. Another backup type is a system backup. System backups create a complete image of the operating system. These will be all of the files stored within the OS, all of its applications and executables, as well as all the configuration settings we have set. System backups are used when we need to do a full restoration of our data. This can happen when we have hardware failure of a server or RAID array, corruption of our data, or an outside malware attack. System backups can be stored locally. These will be backups that are located within our business's premises. We also can use cloud for system backups. These are disaster recovery options where we can restore our data over a network connection. Your system backups will require significantly more storage space and time due to the increased amount of data contained within. When we have some failure with our data, we need to perform data restoration. This is the process of recovering individual files, folders, or full system backups. We can do a selective data restoration. This is restoring individual specific files and folders. A full restoration will do a restoration of the entire system. Your restoration speed will depend on the size of the backup, its storage location, on premises or cloud, and the method for restoration. We should perform regular tests of our backups. We want to ensure that we have proper processes in place so that when we have certain disruptions to access of our data, that we can implement our data recovery plans and disaster recovery plans quickly. Next, we're going to discuss local storage. Local storage are backups that are kept physically within our organization's building. These can be internal server rooms, hard drives, or network attached storage, NAS. Network attached storage is having defined storage devices, hard drives, SSDs, servers, that will be its own isolated component of the network that authorized users can access with the proper permissions. Local storage is best for a fast recovery backup. We don't need to rely on an internet connection or the infrastructure and response of our cloud service provider. One drawback to local storage are its vulnerability to theft and damage. If we lose our local storage, we may not have another copy of our data to restore. Another data backup storage type is a flash drive. Flash drives are your USB. Flash drives are small and portable and are very helpful for doing quick transferring of data and backups. These are best for your small scale file backups. Your USB flash drives typically have gigabit storage capacity and will be limited the size of the data that can be stored for a restoration. One advantage of USB flash drive storage is fast read-write speeds. It's very quick to retrieve data from a flash drive, but the limited storage capacity makes it smaller compared to other types. We also have vulnerabilities to loss or damage of our USB flash drives. If we lose a flash drive, keeping it in a misplaced location, it can make it easy for attackers to come along and gain access to our data. USB flash drives can also be damaged if we pour insertion into the port interface or have some type of damaging the flash drive itself. We also can use external hard drives for our data backups. These provide large storage capacity at relatively low cost. External hard drives allow us to create full system images that not only can be stored on the device but are portable because our hard drive can connect to different host devices. External hard drives can connect by a USB, a Thunderbolt, or network interfaces. If we have any physical damage to our external hard drive, we should have a redundancy of devices so we can do a hot swap or to replace the external hard drive without losing any operations on the network. Another data backup format is an SD card, a secure digital card. Storage backup formats for our mobile devices and digital cameras. SD cards are very small, removable card chips that you place inside of the smartphone or digital camera that allows you to have access to photos and other personal data. They're very portable and inexpensive, but have a limited capacity, and their backup speed is slower than your SSDs or your flash drives. And our final data backup type is cloud storage. Cloud storage is accessing our data from a remote server over an internet connection. Cloud storage is managed by our vendor, CSP, Cloud Service Provider, who is responsible for maintaining our data securely from their own servers and storage devices. Cloud backups can be automated. These can be by regularly scheduled times or by activity of the user. Cloud storage does provide off-site protection against theft and local disasters, but it does require an internet connection. We pay subscription costs to access the data, and we are relying on a third party to ensure that our data is always available. That will conclude our discussion of Section 5.4 data backups as well as conclude Module 5. In our next episode, we'll move on to Module 6 in the objectives, which covers security, and discuss Section 6.1 Security Fundamentals. We thank you again for following along in the episodes and the course, and wish you best luck in your studies. Enjoy the rest of your day.